Alright, Adishimamba, Moba Mary Good, Matan see the Natchese and Selfo and a Macobua, a bit anoa, Midi Begu, a year and Monteda, a tearphone so I share actual one adrein, a day a fast handsome. Now, another year, Meadow Cassadia, a year, some lady be, and a cheseni cocoa, a paya waba monte, so I bet to tuja a day among His Excellency John Giovanni. Mahama ni NDC ama yekoni ni na efa D levy dum so levy His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na aban aye omadwe se omuba omode beba na ababa we chese se NDC for emora MPP for so ema NDC for ebe kan se MPP for bu omu nwiya omu even se obi ko send this 100 cedis na se yetene 1 cedis na se ene de ya His Excellency D levy emum ebe se nipa ne koto ye can say fuel 900 cedis obetia 9 cedis dia na say His Excellency adia oye no hwe ne yie pa wa mananso wa na wasan atutu eja ede ama kwesi prat ne baba achese omumie no ena omukopie ewo show no so wa disgrace na poto ebusi ansem ne aye bebre ewo media so meso se obeja ya adwenche o ye comment section ne asena chese yabo ewura nsem no na yakotie ababa wa no so ensem a owo edema Ghana for any NDC especially any His Excellency John Giovanni Muhammad
on the street is this. Let me do the math for her. On the street, people are saying if NPP has do 1 Ghana on every 100 Ghana transaction that you did, and the NDC claims that the NPP is a wicked government, but if today you have introduced a tax that will see somebody buying fuel about 100 let's say 100 Ghana cedis, paying close to 9 Ghana cedis. 9 Ghana cedis equivalent. What do you call that person? No, let's answer this question. If I did a transaction of 100 Ghana cedis and I will be paying government 1 cedi, but today you are here to tell us that when you buy fuel, let's say 100 Ghana, and you are even going to pay government about 9 Ghana cedis, it is nothing. It is okay. Since when did we get here? Or is it because of the goodwill we are enjoying? You think you can just, throw anything at the Ghanaian and expect them to take it hook, line, and sinker? It is unfair, as I said, and it is actually a very, very dangerous move by the NDC. Because if you can give me 10%, in the form of salary increment, telling me that I should bear with you, only for you to stab me in the back, throw 14% on electricity, and then come back again and say, I need more to solve a problem I am so much aware of. Are you telling me the NDC didn't know that we have this amount of debt before they assumed power? They knew everything. In fact, in opposition, they have all the solutions. But one thing they never mentioned as a solution was tax. But today they are here using the quote-unquote the lazy approach to solving this by charging Ghanaians extra. And so I know maybe Pratt will not understand the ordinary Ghanaian, because the ordinary Ghanaian will buy her fuel or his fuel without government subsidizing it for him or her. But they will enjoy. In fact, even their clothing is being paid for by the ordinary Ghanaian. Their garden boys are being paid for by the ordinary Ghanaian.
The next parcel of liquid fuel. The fuel we have to take us 2.6 days. We've placed order for fuel, but it has to be paid. We've procured some fuel on credit and working with the Ministry of Finance to pay. But the truth is that the Ministry of Finance also has its limits. And so we'll be going to Cabinet to discuss how we can improve on the sector. And that is why we are pushing for some private sector participation in ECG's operations. it does not entirely solve the problem, but it takes us to another level. Because if the collections are reduced from the 40% to say 5%, it means that we'll be collecting more. Cabinet has also adopted a position, and will brief you, Chairman. All MMDAs are supposed to pay for their electricity bills. They have to budget for it. We've identified what we call critical institutions. They include the health sector, the education sector, the security agencies, and the presidency. Even with that, so if you take the health sector, is the theaters, the laboratories, the wards that will be exempted. If you take the educational institutions, dormitories are not part, restaurants are not part, only lecture theaters. So we've classified that, and Cabinet is granting the approval and will publish that. Even what we term as critical institutions, the Minister of Finance will have to budget for it and pay.
Right. So the question is about what the ministry is doing to, get the necessary funds to purchase the fuel. And of course, we can listen to the minister again on steps being taken to address this challenge.
This year alone, government spent over 24 billion cedis in energy sector. Either you call it subsidies, under recoveries, or shortfalls. This year, it is estimated at over 30 billion. In terms of the shortfall. Yesterday, we had a session with the finance minister, and a lot of the people here were there. We require about $1.1 billion to procure liquid fuels alone. Unfortunately, and the PRC is here, the liquid fuel is not part of the tariff structure. And so you will be buying close to $15 billion of liquid fuel, and that has to be paid by the central government because it's not part of the tariff structure. As if that is not enough, what you call the reserve margin, which is a necessity, because you just don't bring plants to meet exactly what you consume. What if one plant goes off for maintenance or any situation? That is not also part of the tariff structure. More importantly, the tariff itself, ECG, is unable to collect all the monies. And so you're having a deficit of about 2 billion cedis every month when it comes to ECG's collections. When you add that deficit and you add the fuel, which is not part
on the street is this. Let me do the math for her. On the street, people are saying, if NPP tells you 1 Ghana on every 100 Ghana transaction that you did, and the NDC claims that the NPP is a wicked government, but if today you are introduced a tax that will see somebody buying fuel about 100, let's say 100 Ghana cedis, paying close to 9 Ghana cedis. 9 Ghana cedis equivalent. What do you call that person? No, let's answer this question. If I did a transaction of 100 Ghana cedis and I will be paying government 1 cedi, but today you are here to tell us that when you buy fuel, let's say 100 Ghana, and you are even going to pay government about 9 Ghana cedis, it is nothing. It is okay. Since when did we get here? Or is it because of the goodwill we are enjoying? You think you can just, throw everything at the Ghanaian and expect them to take it hook, line, and sinker? It is unfair, as I said, and it is actually a very, very dangerous move by the NDC. Because if you can give me 10% in the form of salary increment, telling me that I should bear with you, only for you to stab me in the back, throw 14% on electricity, and then come back again and say, I need more.